Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Welcome to episode 171 of the Go Get That podcast. We are here, fellas. We are a week away from the start of the 2026 golf season for everyone with no Century. Recording this Tuesday, the night of January 6th. We usually have a PGA Tour event this week that Jordan would not have been playing in because he wouldn't have
I
qualified.
was gonna say, important to note.
Yes, important to note, but we are a week away from the start, and Jordan will be there, which is nice. So we are here to look at the 2026 schedule. It's a new event, at least one new event, being at the Cadillac Championship at Trump Doral. And yeah, I think it'll be quite a bit of the same in terms of what Jordan plays, but that's what we're here to discuss. And how we doing, guys?
Doing very well.
Yeah,
Doing
Dan,
very
how are you
well.
doing?
I'm doing quite well. My
Quite
Patriots are hosting a playoff game. Michigan Hoops is best team in the country. Celtics are, doing positive things. I could care less about B Bruins. And
I'm United.
yes, United are United, I suppose, but it seems like I have room for disappointment in my sporthood. So plenty of
You're
room
there.
for Mr. Spieth. Yes. But no, doing great. Happy New Year to you guys. Crazy that we're back for another season. But wouldn't want to do it any other way. So pumped to
Yeah.
kind of talk it out and figure out what the expectations are for sure.
Yeah, expectations is a big word going into this season. I think everyone's kind of got to figure out, what is a successful season this year. I think that we'll probably get into that at some point today. I certainly know where I stand. In terms of everything else, yeah, I'm doing just fine. The big red flag behind me is in a firm winning position currently, which I'm not too used to. In my sports life, my football team is not hosting a playoff game, hasn't hosted a playoff game since before I was born. So there's that, but I'm sure Jordan's probably a little more disappointed about football than I am, so.
Just a little, yeah. Recording this, as I said, January 6th. My
Yes.
NFL team does not have a head coach at the moment. Going through it a little bit emotionally, but hey, Cam McCormick outlasted John Harbaugh. Congrats to him on that. Yeah, I'm sure we'll discuss him at some point in this season preview. But yeah, happy to be with you boys. Excited, looking forward to this year. It's an exciting year. I think, expectations, I mean, obviously got to be a little bit higher than last year, considering, last year, first year off wrist surgery. This year, got his full off-season workout. Mechanically stuff should be more sound, kind of what he said back in Memphis. I'm sure mentally he's in a better spot as well. He probably himself has much higher expectations this year, and excited to see what we got next week at the Sony. We know
Uh,
he'll be there.
I was just gonna say quick because he didn't talk at the Hero,
Thanks for
which
that.
much to the chagrin of Spieth fans. I don't know if that I used that word properly, but I was trying it out. Um, does he talk at Sony? Yes or no? Do we
Yeah,
think?
yeah. I think so. I mean, he's
Gotta.
a headlining name in the field, I would think, or at least one of them.
Yeah. I would be disappointed if he does not, but it wouldn't surprise me. Um,
Well,
at least pre-tournament. It might be talk after a two under on Thursday, but I'm not sure that there'll be a full pre-tournament presser, although they'd be dumb to not. I mean, he's
I don't think that strength of field has ever really been the deciding factor on whether Spieth speaks. I think. I mean, you look at. I mean, has he ever spoke at a bad field event when AT&T wasn't the sponsor? I can't
It's
remember
no,
one.
it's a fair point. I mean, at the Schwab, you expect it because he's in his hometown.
Yeah, like he doesn't really speak anywhere unless AT&T kind of throws him out there to the dogs. So
We have resources. When's the last time he played Sony? Was it
23.
2023?
yeah,
All right, let's see. Did he talk in 23? Gotta love how we can find this stuff.
I think he played Century, so he may not have talked.
Nice. So that complicates things.
Yeah. 23 was also
He did
first
talk in
place to
23 at the
MC.
Sony.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'd
we don't
assume,
like to talk about 23. So
yeah, he didn't talk at the Century in 23, talked at the Sony. So I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
There's I guess there's a little bit of precedent there.
Did
Um
he he didn't play Sony in 24
no,
because he played Century and he was solo third.
was happy
And
with that week and said no, not playing.
that was the best golf we played all season.
Yeah, I went to Pebble and threw out a tee
Okay.
in there and
When we were off. Yeah, I think it's interesting taking the trip over there. I appreciate it. I mean,
appreciate it.
it's the only event other unless he wants to start at Phoenix, but at that point you're 3 events behind, and as we've seen over the past few years, it's not very good at catching up on FedEx Cup points. It is an interesting early stretch because he's played a lot of these events before. So starts at Sony, which we know he'll be there. Obviously, some decent history there. The last time, not a great taste left in the mouth. That's what she said. But the then we go to Amex and Farmers, and based on his previous experiences there, I think that those are off the table. Would you guys agree with that sentiment?
Funny you mentioned that. I got my entire schedule here, and that's the one surprise I have. I think he shows up at Amex.
mm,
Interesting.
That he's going to play a lot early, particularly on the West Coast. So he's either BSing us and is just going to play the events he usually plays, which is the probable decision or choice. But he debated playing Amex last year. I know different situation with the wrist, but I'm going to take him at his word and say he plays more on the West Coast and shows up there. I mean, you can make a case for Farmers as well. I mean, he said he's going to play more on the West Coast. I'm just leaning Amex because, we know the history of Torrey Pines and it never goes well there. So that's kind of my,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's either he goes full chalk with the schedule or he throws us maybe for one surprise.
yeah, I think that. I mean, if we're taking it month by month, then we're looking at January here. If I had to put $1 million on him playing or not playing Amex, I'm going to say no. But it would not be the craziest addition to the schedule comparatively to recent years. Because we do know that Farmers is probably out for probably the rest of his career, besides maybe a Tour U.S. Open year if that's coming up anytime soon. I don't really know.
They're not.
Hopefully not. Um, but unless that's coming up in 10 years and maybe he plays that year, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see it, but it wouldn't be that crazy because I mean it would be he would still get a week off. Um, it could also be one of those weeks where he's got it in the back of his mind and he's thinking about, well, all right, if I miss the cut at Sony,
Yeah.
then maybe we go to Amex. If I make the cut and play well, maybe we play Amex, maybe we don't. If I make the cut and play really well, then maybe we don't. I think it might be one of those things. Because in terms of February, I think that's where it gets a lot more interesting.
Well, leading into February, Jordan, you mentioned potentially playing Amex. I think February is pretty chalk other than the Cognizant. But I wouldn't rule out playing the cog if there's no guarantee he's getting into API.
Yeah.
Um, but my guess is that he's gonna try and play well enough. Well, not my guess, but I think his expectation is to play well enough to not have to get an exemption in the API. And if
Well,
that's the case, that rules out farmers pretty easily because that would be, or excuse me, that would rule out the cognizant for me because that'd be 7 weeks in a row.
the
And
thing,
that's
yeah,
like
the thing that
three
I look at
options
here is
right
there's
there.
9 weeks from February to the end of March that Spieth has played that week in one of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And you have to think that he's going to take one of them off, and it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle. And that unfortunately does probably mean the cognizant.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah.
obvious ones are Houston and the cognizant,
I
assuming
just
he's
think
not.
that's kind of where he's going to be. I don't see him playing the cognizant um, unless Saunders decides to be, just a real,
He
you
could just
know,
qualify, you know.
Yeah.
well,
I think that's the hope. If he doesn't qualify again,
exactly.
I don't know why you'd give him a sponsor's invite again. Like if he doesn't qualify, it means he's not playing very well.
Rafa Campos getting another exemption this year.
Well, maybe.
He didn't make use of it last year.
No.
No.
I
I
Yeah.
go ahead, Jordan.
I agree though. I had Amex and Cognizant out. I think that's just too much if he played. You can't play all of them. Um, and I was looking at Valspar too, but Valspar seems much more of a lock than Cognizant. And again, this is all based on him qualifying for every event because as of now, fellas, we are 5 months away from the U.S. Open, and that's very much up in the air at the moment. I mean, we'll see where we are obviously come June, but I mean, not just the signature events this year. I mean, there's a major championship that he's not a lock for, which is crazy to think, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, and I think it's unfortunate because we've been talking about for years how the cognizant spot on the schedule has gotten screwed. Um, because it does really seem like a course that he'd love to play every year if he could. But at the end of the day, there's just so much more up for grabs at the API, and it's a much more historic tournament. And it's a course that, yes, he does have a good history at the Cognizant in 1 year, but I mean, he
It's
has
a
a
better
very good
history in the
history.
three. Yeah,
Yeah.
that API.
So I just think at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those two. And it's not really going to be a his decision kind of thing. It's going to be whether he gets in or whether he doesn't. If he plays the API, I think he's playing.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I think what I like, I mean, the schedule's interesting because it starts out, 4 events before we get back-to-back signatures and sort of 4 signatures in the next 5 tournaments, right? Where you go Pebble, Genesis, Cog, API players. Um, and to me, it sort of feels like obviously he's playing Phoenix and he's playing Sony, but I think if Sony doesn't go well, it would be kind of a waste to not get a little bit more kind of buoyed by playing the Amex or playing Farmers. It's funny, he played the Farmers well at the US Open. It's one of his better US Open finishes of his career, actually, um, outside of the win. But obviously, Phoenix has been a spot where he's played well even when the seasons haven't gone particularly well. And some other news, the defending champ is now on the other
yes,
tour.
could have been a year
Um,
earlier.
yes, so that's just kind of crossed my mind as I'm looking here at some of the previous winners. But I mean, can say this about any golf or any event, any sporting team you follow, like getting off to a good start is paramount. And I think that's super important this year. The hero was pretty ugly, to put it quite bluntly. So it really is important show some signs of life at Sony if he's not going to play one of these other two events. And honestly, I hate the American Express. Like it's
My
just
card holder, Dan?
no, not a card holder. I mean, they could change my mind about this tournament if they'd like. But no, three courses, the whole sort of pro-am thing, it plays to 30 under. It
Contest.
isn't. I don't
Jordan,
really.
you're a Truist holder, aren't you?
I am. I do have a Truist card.
Did they give you any perks? I don't remember.
No, we paid full
Oh,
price, Bob, if I recall. Full price, Philly.
that's nasty.
For
No
Isn't
loyal
the isn't the Truist gone this year?
No, it's just back to Quail Hollow.
Oh, that's right. It is no longer the Wells Fargo.
Nope.
Where's the Bank of America Championship?
Not a sponsor. We got Cadillac back. We'll see who else wants to throw some money.
Cadillac's sick. Cadillac's fun.
Great vehicle.
Visa doesn't have anything either, right? I'm a Visa and MasterCard holder, so
Well,
No.
API
They have
MasterCard.
we have the
Well, no,
API, but we don't. I don't
API.
think we have a Visa tournament.
Team Rose,
Yeah.
MasterCard
It's
guy.
crazy because American Express gives incredible benefits to their cardholders at these tournaments that they
They
sponsor.
for the freaking earpieces at the U.S. Open, don't they?
Yep, and they have like their own lounges.
Wow.
The Open had a lounge for fellow Mastercard holders that I was able to get into, which was nice.
Bank of America's got a
One free Guinness.
Wow.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
awesome. Per swipe of the card.
So where were we? We got what API players. He's playing Valspar, right? I don't think there's any.
Yeah, well, we were just kind of rolling like Phoenix. We sort of briefly skipped over February because
It's pretty.
it helps you talk about January if you understand the end of February and
Yeah.
March. But
It'll
he's
be the
playing
waste
Phoenix.
management.
Yeah.
He's not gonna
It'll be the
get.
pro am.
Yeah, he'll be at the Pro-Am. I can't imagine he's not at the Genesis.
I can't either. But it's like not as much of a lock as the other two. It's probably
Yeah.
95% there.
So
I'd
then
give it
COG API is
25%
kind
of the
flip.
cog.
Yeah.
I was
75% at the API.
I was informed by a follower today. Apparently, with Genesis, now that Dietrich's going to live, like he's now like in there without a sponsor's invite too. Like he was the last dude, but Dietrich leaving bumps him up a spot.
Jills. I
Which he was
actually,
gonna get a sponsor's invite anyway. But congrats
think
on
that-
not having to play his way in.
yeah,
Well, it's
because I
nice
think
because
he,
Justin Thomas is also out for the first part of the
Yes.
year.
yes.
So
He
we'll get
did
into those
finish-
events.
He finished 61st in the FedEx Cup. So I do think the first like two signatures, he gets kind of that.
He's gonna think he earned his way
Entryway.
in.
So congrats on earning.
Would be undeserved.
Well, I mean, you got the 61st somehow.
I just can't believe it was sitting at 61st and we didn't play a single event
So-
in the fall.
So knowing that, yeah, exactly. Knowing that, actually, I think it's Sony, and then we see him in Phoenix.
I agree.
Because
Likely.
given that he's got those two sponsors for sure, that's 4 events in the first 6 weeks of the season. And then you get take a week and work with Cam, and then at that point, if you're not an API, you're just not playing well. So at that point, it's sort of
Season's over.
yeah, we could be approaching that level pretty quickly.
I think the season hinges on the first 5 events or so.
Yeah, no, it really
Yeah.
does. I mean, that's how because the Masters is so important, man.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not going to do shit at the Players. We're just hoping for a made cut there. But then yeah, Valspar, and then it's Valero, Masters, RBC. Like I think this is pretty chalk for what we see.
Chalk,
Yeah.
chalk, chalk.
Chalk, I would assume. So I would assume Cadillac. I would assume Truist.
Mm,
I
but
would not assume Truist.
There's
I
a lot
think
of
we'll
weeks
see
in a
there.
row.
I have Truist as a no, Cadillac as a
agree.
yes.
Okay. Because right after Truist, so if he played Cadillac, and then Truist, it would be Truist,
6 weeks in a row.
PGA, CJ, Schwab, Memorial. Yeah, it's probably not the truest. I could make the case that they skip on the Trump, but
I just knowing what we know from what we overheard at the Open,
Trump.
I don't think why would he ever choose the truest over the Trump tournament when we kind of already know that he doesn't like playing at Quail Hollow?
Yeah, it's my thought process.
Because it's got to be one of the two. Like, there's
if
no
he
way he's
had,
playing both of them.
if he was smart, what he would do, and Dan will hate me, he plays both signature events at
Thanks
the
for
big
if
golf
he was
courses
smart.
and ships the CJ out.
oh, come on.
You play the big tournaments. You hear all the players, Scheffler every week say, I want to play against the best fields in golf. And Spieth shows up at the CJ Cup and skips Quail Hollow.
It's
I don't hate that take because there is no AT&T association anymore, correct?
no,
No.
it's the CJ Cup, which actually is quite fitting for the players who play well there. I'll let you do the math on that.
Yeah.
But the he's got to go to Ranch. I mean, come on. If he's not at Ranch, I might consider.
All right, let's go over the scenario where he doesn't play Ranch. It would be Cadillac, Truist,
PGA,
PGA, Skip,
Break,
Schwab,
Schwab,
Memorial, Skip,
Skip
US.
to the cock.
Maybe the US Open. Maybe up in
To be
the
honest, I mean, that is just a much more ideal schedule.
It is way better. It is
Way better.
But I mean, you just don't skip a major. You just don't. I understand
Well,
that.
he may skip two this year, Dan.
PGA not a lock either. PGA not a lock either.
I mean, it's just. I mean, we kind of laugh about this now, but think about how we're gonna feel if the Sony doesn't go well and we're waiting for 2 weeks for just the CPR to buy us
he's
5 minutes of belief at Phoenix.
He's not qualified for the PGA, right? But he'll get a sponsored exemption in that one if he needs.
Yeah, I mean they're much more lenient than the US.
Yeah.
He's also
he'll get a sponsor exemption until the day he dies that tournament, just because of the
chance of the
They
slam.
pretty much always give if you're in the top 100.
Can you imagine
Are you getting
Jordan Spieth won the slam on a sponsor's exemption? That would send golf Twitter into a frenzy.
That would be awesome. That'd be our Super Bowl. I mean, there would not be any topping. I mean, he wins it anyway. It'd be our Super Bowl, but that would be phenomenal.
That would be
Yeah,
fantastic.
that would be all right, but let's assume that it's. I mean, we know this. I mean, Spieth loves chalk. It'll be one of the Cadillac or the Truist. Me and it's safe to assume we all think it's going to be Cadillac, or do you think it's going to be Truist? Dan?
Cadillac. It would be interesting if the Truist wasn't at Quail Hollow. If it would have been at Philly Cricket again, I think I'd have to think about it. I'm actually looking. He played Trump 3 times from 14 to 16 and finished T34, 17, 17.
Yeah, I think he goes back to Florida. He can room
Great
with
golf
Ricky
course.
and JT. Yeah.
Might
So
get a tweet from the president if he doesn't go back to Florida.
that's,
Yeah.
if the president is focused on Jordan Spieth's performance instead of the other issues in this country, that would be
You know Trump's going to be there.
for sure.
He's showing up.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Where's Bryson?
Yeah, I'd love to see if he makes I mean, he might be so out of the loop that he might not even know. He may think that Bryson's qualified.
Special exemption to Bryson.
Where's the big golfer?
Special presidential exemption to Bryson.
Where's DJ? You're supposed to bring me my supply.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I wanted to see Paulina this week.
Oh, Dan. That is fantastic. It is a great golf course, though. I mean, it is. Like,
There's a lot of water.
I think it's one of. I don't think it's like one of the greatest golf course designs, but for PJ Tour players, it makes them think more than most golf courses make them think.
Yeah. No, I mean, regardless of your politics, I mean, Trump Turnberry should be hosting the Open.
Every 8 years.
It's like you can hate the dude, but he's got some great golf courses, and as the three of us just want to watch good golf courses, and we get so many bland ones on tour on a weekly basis. The water will make it fun. It's long, it's challenging, and that's just
Yeah.
Twitter will love it because it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's really unfortunate we didn't get to see Bedminster a few years ago.
Yeah.
What it
And
was supposed to host what
the
Open?
Southern Hills one.
Oh, PGA. That's right. But wasn't Turnberry supposed to host an Open though? Or no?
I don't
They
think it
don't
was
care.
ever in the
Okay.
Rota, but I could be wrong. I think I think the RNA said that they weren't looking into it in the foreseeable future. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the RNA, out of all of the golf kind of heads, I have little to complain about with them compared to some of these other.
I miss Martin Slumbers, but I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Mr. Slumbers was an alpha.
they run a great event.
they are the best. They don't even know where they're going in 28 yet. It's like
That's sick.
Open
That's
is like
sick.
Well,
50.
will you be trying to make the trip to Birkdale?
Who, me?
No, Dan. I know
No,
you.
Dan.
I know you have it in the back of your mind.
To Birkdale. I will be attempting to make it to the old stomping grounds where truly we will hear murmurs of a once great champion.
He might come in hot. He comes in hot to that tournament.
I was saying, like, when we were watching the event last year, I mean, the fact that Spieth finished top 40 that event with the way he played and the way he was playing coming in. I mean, I truly don't think he can finish outside the top 40 at Open if he tried.
No.
Like, he's just
Yeah.
too creative.
Keep putting it to the test though. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
where it ends.
He
It
tried
was-
his best. I mean,
Someday.
we watched him play the front nine on the practice round, 5 under through 7, and then he was 4 over through 8 in the real day.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He was the
one under-
tournament favorite Wednesday afternoon for all it's worth. I mean,
Oh yeah, all intents and purposes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can get into some of the rest of the season stuff once we just wrap up the rest of the schedule. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, Schwab Memorial break, US Open, definitely be back at the Travelers. Any chance he's in Silvis for the tractor tourney?
It's going to be a long year if he's in Silvis.
Yeah, I don't see that. Genesis, I would assume it's a return there.
Yes.
And then obviously the Open. Hopefully we're not at the 3M or the frickin' Rocket.
Podcast might be reaching its end if we're back at Wyndham again.
Yes.
It can't be that.
I will say there is quite a gap, right? The Open, and then it's the Minnesota Open, and then the Detroit Open, and then the Wyndham Open
Detroit.
before the FedEx Cup playoffs. I guess depending on where he stands, we'll see. But I think obviously if you had to pick one of those to go to, it's probably Wyndham again.
Yeah. All joking
I-
aside.
I think if he ends up at Wyndham, it's not necessarily a doomsday scenario.
Yeah, I don't.
He may just want to play going into the playoffs, being 15th in the FedEx Cup.
But yeah, I think it could be
Because
a.
he's not. He plays Wyndham. Not that he plays Wyndham well, but he always when he plays Wyndham when he's playing well, he plays it well. And
it
he's
could be
not
one
a
of those.
3M or Rocket guy. So
Right. It could be one of those where it's kind of solidifying a top 30 spot, right? I imagine, which I guess we can kind of pivot into one of the thoughts I was having earlier. And I don't know, don't want to put you on the spot, Jordan, either, because I know sometimes you have goals for the season. But what do you think if you were in the shoes, in the mind of the Texan here? What are your goals? What would your goals be? Coming off,
Why? Yeah.
last year and this full off season here.
This is why he needs to talk to the media at the Sony, because I kind of want to see what he has to say. I mean, we heard last year about a 10-year plan. So if we're, still going off that, then he probably doesn't think he needs to win this year. But it would be nice to, hear how he's doing and, what he thought of the hero. Obviously, the scoring wise couldn't have went worse, but I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, he's put in a ton of work mechanically on the ball striking, but the putting, I mean, it's just as big of a problem. So I'd like to hear from him. Hopefully, we'll hear from him this time next week. Maybe when we're recording a preview, we'll have some comments or thoughts on what he had to say. That'd be nice. Before you asked me that question, I was kind of looking to see when he played Wyndham. He never played it in his prime.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Probably
Not,
did in like 14.
no, he played in 13,
No.
which was the only good finish, a sole second, and it's been MDF T72 cut T31 since.
The MDF was hilarious.
Yes.
Yes.
Those
I believe
were
he was T8 going into Saturday.
Yes. I believe it was a score in the 80s.
that was not good. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
played
was it?
13.
Was it an 82?
It might have been. It was at least a 79. I'm pretty sure it was 80s, though.
Not good. Not good. I'm looking. He played 13, 19, uh 13. Oh, come on, man. 13, 19, 20, 24, 25. So yeah, he's pretty much only played it when he's been irrelevant, besides 13 when he was still trying to like gain his status and all that.
Yeah.
Still trying to gain our status.
Well,
Yes.
yes, now we are back to gaining status.
Yes.
Year 2 of 15, remember.
I was
That's
walking my
like
dog earlier. Can he lose his card this year? I mean, they make it pretty freaking easy to keep it, but I mean, is there a scenario where
I I don't think he has any like past card status. Like he's got exemption status for, or not exemption. He's got like sponsor exemption status.
Well, you would have
But he,
hoped that in 2016, that 10 years down the road, he would have had the 20 plus lifetime exemption by now.
yes. I mean, we were 75% of the way there come, or, at 23, he was 50% of the way there. And now at 32, we are 75% of the way there, not even. So, um, I don't know. I think ultimately for me, I kind of just have a few thoughts about how I want the season to go because I know that 18, 19, 20 in hindsight, right, we can chalk up to some health issues. 21 through 23 up until that wrist popped, basically, I mean he was a top sort of 18-ish player in the world, won a few tournaments. Last year I would consider him healthy, but I think it's easy to forget sometimes that his competition sort of has a leg up in a lot of ways, just because they've been actually rehearsing the same swing over and over for years and not just kind of piecing it together at the end of one off season and going into a season. And honestly, we saw it like going into Travelers last year, coming off the Memorial, coming off the US Open. I think we were feeling like, man, like it's starting to kind of show some form again. And so I think it may, hopefully Sony backs me up here a little bit, but when he's been healthy in the past 8 years, he's been a top 20 player. And I think that's kind of the expectation then. It's like, yeah, you're going to be a top 20 player. That means being more competitive at the majors, um, which I think will happen. And I think we return to Atlanta at the end of the year is kind of the, I mean, if I had to put it into goals, right, I'd love to win a golf tournament, but I think a thing that would make me feel like, all right, at worst, it's a B minus season is making it to Atlanta.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's
it's
kind of
got to
where I
be
stand.
making it to Atlanta or winning a tournament. It's got to be one of the two. If you make it to Atlanta, you probably win a tournament anyways. I'm pretty sure the stats are like it's only like 2 or 3 people a year make it. Or like two to seven players a year make it. to the tour championship without winning. Like it's very hard to do. You have to finish top 5 a lot, and that means you have to play really well over a long period of time. And that's not something we're very used to recently. So it's really just got to be a win somewhere. I'm not going to be picky. I think you need to see one go through the hoop at this stage in your career. You got to start racking up tallies, running out of time. I mean, a win at like a CJ Cup is like
Please.
holding. It's like holding
Please.
serve for the season.
Oh
Just
my God.
getting
No,
yourself to next season.
that's a legacy defining win. Did you see? I mean, Scheffler's got 5 majors now because of that win at the CJ Cup. I think that's what people forget sometimes at Scheffler's run last year. PGA Open and um Ranch. Like that's an incredible season. So
Big boy golf courses.
yeah, I mean these are major championship level courses. So yeah, if you got to win at Ranch. So the other interesting thing too is like, and Jordan, you've touched on this in some of our recent podcasts. He's hard to predict because he doesn't really do anything particularly elite. So he's not really a course fit anywhere. And you don't necessarily go to Pebble and think like, oh, he's going to play super well because he's just kind of mid across the board. You don't go to the Schwab and think, oh man, this is a top 10, right? I'm not really sure what those courses are anymore where it's like, yeah, you can, and part of that's the play, but also part of that's just who the golfer is. Like the game is very different from what it was. I mean, we're a decade of removed from being in the middle of that 3-year stretch of greatness. A decade.
A lot
So
changed.
he needs to talk about all this like DNA. I think you can look deeper into his comments about the 15-year plan. And if you want to look at it from an overly optimistic perspective, you can say, well, at least he's not trying to be who he was, trying to get back to his DNA. Man, I don't care about that. And he shouldn't either. Like, what the heck is your DNA? Just go be good now.
I,
Right. And I think I'm hoping that's part of the 15-year plan mentality is like, how can I create a new journey or a new swing or a new whatever that makes me great and just kind of let it happen. Because all this talk about trying to be who he was, I think is just not going to happen. He's a different mental state. He's a father of 3, could be 4 by this summer. Who knows these days with the way he's racking them up. And just yeah, let's embrace the present and go be great this season.
Yeah, especially if he plays well at the Memorial, then it's celebration galore, and we have 4 and 5 coming in August. And missing the President's Cup and just.
that's a good
Pick
goal.
up.
That's a
That's
good
a good
goal.
goal.
On a
I
Ryder
mean,
Cup,
I wouldn't even say it's a goal at this point. It's a must. Like it's not too hard to make these teams anymore with Liv.
you know, it's very
Not too hard to make especially a President's Cup team where Bryson and Koepka are already eliminated, even though Koepka may be retiring.
completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting storyline. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But I'd take him back.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to next week, to be honest. I don't have much expectations. I'm looking forward to the preview. I think that the main thing that I have to say going into the season is there's 3 ways the season can go. It's a success if we win or we get to East Lake, I think. If we don't win and get to East Lake, then it's just depressing. But I would still call that a success as long as it leads to a win the next year. It can be a semi-success if we have a bad year and we change everything. Fire people, change clubs, sponsors.
The
I would
Ravens
consider
can
that
do
a
it. Spieth
semi-success.
can do it.
Doomsday is a repeat C or worse season. Or no, I won't even say that. C plus or worse season. and nothing changes, and we just rinse and repeat to next year. That's the doomsday. That's the thing that can't happen.
Sort of
So
the rinse and repeat, monotone, same old,
yeah,
copy paste from last year.
As they say,
Yeah,
nothing's worse than being mediocre.
it's true. Yeah, and I think he would agree with that. And I just, he's healthy. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll find a way to be a top 15 to 20 player in the world.
Yeah,
yeah,
And
that's fair.
what
I had
comes with that comes with that.
yeah, I had two things. It's funny you mentioned the East Lake because one thing he's got going for him this year, if he can get there, regardless of where he is in the standings, he's gonna have a chance to win that golf tournament. And the last couple times he's been there, that hasn't been the case because he's been what, 28th, 29th, 30th in points, and he's been 10 shots back.
great point.
So if he gets there, he's gonna have a chance where if he can beat 29 dudes, he can win that. I mean, Mickey Mouse win, whatever you want to call it, small field. But if he gets there, it's another chance to win a golf tournament this year where it hasn't been in the years
Yeah.
past where he's made it. And my other thing is on the positive side. It's funny. I think usually it's the other way around. I think he's probably more confident right now than we are in him on January 6th when we're recording this.
Well,
He's more confident than we are in him, which isn't a bad thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but
what is that saying?
I just think he feels pretty good. And I think we're of the thinking of we don't know what the hell is going to happen. I think he kind of expects to play well as of now. I mean, that could change nights from now when he shoots 74 to open the Sony, but I think right now.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no possible way that his expectations for the Sony are lower than mine at the same time. Like, I feel like that's kind of a given. Like,
What
I like when I'm thinking Sony, I'm thinking I expect a lot of birdies and a lot of bogeys. And that just, there's no way that's what he's thinking. Like, that's just not who he is. So,
think he thinks that he's going to be able to win next week. I guess we'll find out if he freaking talks.
Man,
Be nice.
I'd sure hope so. The course fit isn't that bad for him.
yeah. It'd be lovely if somebody would ask him straight up, "Do you think you can win this week?"
He'd
And I
deflect it.
Is Doug
he
Ferguson going to be there? Doug
he
will ask
would.
him.
Well, but if he didn't deflect it, then I think you'd get the sort of a greater sense of like, yeah. I mean, could you imagine he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to win."
I
And
don't
just
think
Field,
that's
a lot
that
of
bad
guys
for
to
me, to
beat.
be
A lot of
honest.
guys.
um
Hate to delve
but
into the Sony too much, but I don't. Who else is even playing?
I don't know. I think a lot of guys
I
start the
mean,
season at Amex.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Siwoo's there,
these are important weeks, though, in these
Sung Jae,
these dire days of the PGA Tour.
Kisner there.
He's gonna play how many tournaments this year? 20 to 22.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have 23 if all goes right.
he's probably only gonna play 2 or 3 tournaments this year that don't have Rory or Scotty in them, and this is one of them.
That's a
So,
way to look at it, but yeah.
like, these are weeks that you kind of need to try and be at your best because you think about half those weeks, half those 20 weeks that you're playing against Rory and Scotty, half of them you're gonna have to play your A+ game to beat both of them in general. And then the other half, you're going to have to beat someone else. So it leaves a lot less winnable tournaments on the schedule now than there was. Even in the dominant days of DJ in 2020, 2021, and Kepka, they didn't play as many tournaments as Spieth plays. Like DJ played very different tournaments than Spieth. Kepka played very different tournaments than Spieth. They both played less. Scheffler plays all the time and plays the Texas tournaments. Like
Yeah.
you do not play tournaments without having to beat Scotty Scheffler very often anymore if you're Spieth.
Does Scotty play Amex?
He did one of the last few years, but I doubt he'll play this
I
year.
think I'm
doubt
just
it this year.
looking through. You said maybe 2 to 3 tournaments without Scheffler and Rory. There might only be one, and it might be next week.
It could be, yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
Valspar if
Scheffler,
he plays
my guess is
Valspar.
Scheffler's at Valspar. Yeah, it could be Valspar could be one.
I does Scheffler play Valero? Maybe not. It might be three.
No, but he plays Texas.
He plays
Plays in
Scheffler
Houston.
plays Houston, so he doesn't play
Big boy
Valero
golf.
as much.
Well, Valero's not that easy.
Valero's a solid tournament, man.
It's a pretty hilarious golf course.
It is, but it's got character.
It's fine. It does.
Yeah, so Scheffler plays Houston. That's where
Ooh.
he duels with
I don't know if
Jaeger-
I agree with you on that front, Dan.
what?
I don't know if the Oaks,
The Oaks course
has much
has character.
Oops.
I think
Wind.
it's got some teeth. That maybe is the better word. Character might be
When
a-
it's windy, yeah. But any course I feel like could be made good by wind. I mean,
Yeah.
you get TPC Southwind every year, and it's 4 miles an hour max every day.
right, which is hilarious, by the way. But the whole point, like the Oaks course number 9, you get that wind humming into you, man. Whole play's
I'm not
like
saying it's not
5:30.
one of the tournaments I look forward to comparatively to the other half of the schedule, but that's also saying a lot about the PGA Tour.
This is why I said, regardless of your politics, you should be happy if you're a golf fan that Trump Doral is back on the schedule.
Yeah. Trump Doral is not the most brilliantly designed golf course in the world. It's a lot of fairway and a lot of water. It's very basically designed, but there's a lot of character for pros who you do not see tested very often off the tee because they can hit anything out of, they can spin it out of the rough now. Like the fact that water on both sides of the fairway on some holes, like that's something you should be excited to look forward to in watching PGA Tour players play because there is always a miss that they can make birdie from on almost every hole on the PGA Tour right now.
Yeah. No, it's different. And kudos
So-
to the BMW for changing up their site every year.
Yeah. Yep.
Makes it fun.
Bell
Maybe
Reeve.
Spieth could get there this year.
Yes.
Yes. That's
They
a
did
tournament
pretty
I
good
will
stuff
not be
with Bell
going.
Reeve a few years back as well.
It's gonna be
See
St.
Hood's
Louis
back
in
at
August.
Bell Reeve. As he just had his 85th surgery a few weeks ago. That's unfortunate to hear.
I think it's possible we've seen
I agree.
Mr. Eldrick at his last PGA Tour event.
Yeah, I think it's possible that we've seen him at his last event, period. Because I don't think he'll play the Champions Tour.
Yeah, but he's shown up at Augusta.
What about
Oh, I don't
with
know
Chuck
if he
Hood's?
is. I don't know if he is.
You think he's done at the Masters?
Not even
I think he
the-
may give it one more hurrah just for the ceremonial thing for it, but I don't see him showing up to Augusta like Ben Crenshaw with no chance to win. I just don't
Yeah,
think that's in
that's
his.
fair. Wow.
He may do it just from the ego standpoint of like, I've earned the right to walk up 18 and get my ovation. But
I think you're right. I think he should do it one more time.
I think that the odds we see him at 2 more Masters is very low.
I kind of agree with Bob because I don't think Tiger's in the business of getting his ass kicked for 2 straight days at Augusta and making that.
No, I think that
Or
I think for
lower his
5
scoring
years,
average.
I think for 5 years between 2020 and 2025, he spent so much time away from his family trying to get his body ready to play 5 events a year that I think he's just done with it. I think he's done with the antics. I think he wants to just spend time with his kids. And because I really don't, I think the competitive spirit he has, I don't think he has any intention to go out and play a golf tournament he can't win. I don't think he wants to go be a ceremonial golfer. And I also don't think he wants to get his body in shape anymore to try and win again. I think he's just put too much. I think he's just been through too much.
Yeah, and I know it was emotional at St. Andrews, but I don't think he enjoyed missing the cut by how many 8 shots there? 9 shots when he made that walk on 18 at St. Andrews a few years ago. Yeah, I don't think he's in it to be ceremonial.
Was the withdrawal when he had to sit in the cart? Was that the last time we seen him?
He played last at the 2024 Open at Troon, where he added him up.
Where did he have to get in the cart?
Was it Augusta? No,
But it
no,
might have been Rick.
Genesis.
Yeah.
This tournament in 24. Yeah, 24, he had three missed cuts, a 60th at the Masters, and the withdrawal at the Genesis. The new surgery kind of sucks too, because that pretty much rules him out for all of this year. Like, there's no even, rumors or, speculation, which kind of sucks. What he didn't tear his ACL?
I don't even know.
He's done everything.
Too many to count at this point.
Yeah, his whole body is just broken.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because, you would like to see him. I'm sure he's looking back on it kind of being like, yeah, I wish I'd kind of just. But, like, that's never how any of those guys do it. Like, they always have a bad stretch before they retire because, like, you don't retire after winning and not have the competitive drive to go do it again if you're at that level.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but I mean, I'm not even a Woods fan, and it's a little sad because you would have liked to see it go down a little differently on in terms of how he went out. I mean, he's probably going to finish with his last 8 events are probably going to be. He probably doesn't have even a top 40 unless he finished top 40 in the Masters in like 2023. But I remember him kind of dwindling out on Saturday and Sunday, if I remember correctly. But it's unfortunate. But yeah, I don't see him playing the Champions Tour.
It'll be interesting. I guess last season preview type of deal. It's a shame I didn't remember it until we freaking went live, but um we don't have to predict all four major winners just because we didn't really put in the time. But give me both of you, give me a surprise major winner. Just give me a name who you guys could see. Who's the JJ Spawn of this year?
I don't see one. I think the biggest surprise you'll get is Cam Young,
That's not even a
and that's not
surprise.
really a surprise.
Scheffler plays two of them, so
I think, yeah. I mean, I'd say, yeah. I think Cam Young's probably my biggest surprise I can see winning a major. I think I could see him having I see him having a ridiculous ceiling for this year after the way he finished last year. The floor still could be low, but I think the ceiling could be really high.
Does Captain Keegan have another PGA in him?
No.
ooh, like that.
That would be something that comes to mind. I think the Ryder Cup is usually a pretty decent indicator. Like, does Justin Rose pull something out of his ass
I
at
think that's
Birkdale?
that's a fair take. I think that you could see Justin Rose
He's hungry.
competing
How
in an
about
Open or Masters. Does Matt
how,
Kuchar get his revenge at Birkdale?
yeah, could be. I mean, on that line, does Mickelson dominate the cock? I mean, that feels feels like a possibility.
Leader in the clubhouse for most conservative take right there.
Yeah. Yes. Well said. I'm pretty sure he's
Well,
minus odds
I mean,
right
if
now.
we're talking about surprise major winners, I mean, Spieth could be
Our
thrown
guy.
in that
Our
conversation.
guy.
Well said. What about and I kind of retracted it. It was my first thought, and I retracted it slightly because it's an even year, which means Scheffler's going to win the Masters. But what about Fitzpatrick at Augusta? I think
Where'd that come from?
Seems too obvious.
I yeah, but it's like
Seems too obvious that he'd
played
win
well
like
at the
two
Ryder
majors and
Cup,
one of
and
them
he's
be
got
Augusta.
decent course fit there, and he just seems like an English dude to wear the jacket. Straka. Could Straka win a major?
No,
PGA maybe.
he hits it like 220. Kidding.
Yeah, but is Aronimik better suited for that?
They're gonna beef it the crap up probably.
Straka at Birkdale.
I guess that's more.
I think Aronimink has a doomsday scenario though, where it could like literally play like a PJ Tour event.
What about what if Colin Morikawa is good again?
That'd be
I would hate that.
I could totally see Colin Morikawa winning a third major in his career.
One
Could
more.
totally.
Hovland.
Not bold, but Xander
Mm,
slowly showing. He won the Bay Current back in October in his last start, and it took him a little while to start to figure it out. I think
What
post
great players do.
hip, was it a
Have
hip?
a bad year all year and pick off a win.
Yeah, his bad year
Hold
being
serve.
yeah.
he
That's
started off hurt. That's a good call, actually. He doesn't strike me as a guy to win the green jacket, but it wouldn't shock me if he was
All I
very
know
much in contention at Aronimink.
all I know is in majors we've seen the last of Rory McIlroy.
I think I agree with Bob at least in 26. I just don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna need a kick in the ass, and maybe it'll be a bad Masters this coming
Yeah,
April where the defending champion just for some reason just can never they don't repeat, which I mean hard thing to do, but he's just playing with house money for until he realizes it probably isn't house money. He's got nothing else to do. I mean, just besides rack up right majors.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I said Xander. That's not a surprise, but he's in data golf number 7 in the world. But it does feel like he's going into 2026 under the radar. Like people
True.
talk Scotty, they talk Rory, Xander in 24 when he was healthy. I mean, he won 2 majors.
You want to know who I feel like shows up in majors on the first page of the leaderboard, like once or twice a year, like a Louis almost. I mean,
Stinger,
what?
Stinger.
Ah, that's a great call, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking John Vegas, fresh off of his country now. Did you see him celebrating
Celebration
on
for John
Twitter?
Davis.
Maybe he has the motivation now to go win one for Venezuela.
What better way to bring back to bring the green jacket back home? To bring him a jacket, to bring him a jug. I mean, that would just be unreal scenes. How about Hideki? Major number
I
2.
mean, Hideki can always win.
Yeah.
He's so talented, and when he gets hot with the putter, he's just so good. He does not when he is putting well from mid range. He's also never missing inside of 7 feet. It's a deadly combination. When he's putting well, he wins that tournament almost all the time. It's honestly kind of surprising to me. He only has one.
Yeah.
He's kind of a stereotypical 2 to 3 major winner, like above what he should be.
Does a
But
Liv player win a major this year?
I don't know. See, I was just going to mention Liv because I think that it's interesting with there are so many good players on Liv that I just feel like they're due to have like a Burmester or a Neiman win one. I mean, obviously Neiman has his history that's a little dark, but I feel like they're almost because those players, I mean, those are top 10 players in the world at times. I feel like they're almost due to have a non Bryson or Kepka win a major. Like I feel like that's kind of something I've thought about. And I don't think it's this year necessarily, but I think in the next 3 years you see like a Neiman or a Burmester or who's another one that's always contending on live. Trying to think. But tough to rule out Patrick Reed,
I was just
of
thinking.
course.
Fresh off the Ryder Cup snub.
Snub. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the conservative take would again be Mickelson probably the Masters if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Be dueling out top lefty with Mike Ware.
I mean, Mickelson has had good recent form at the Masters.
I mean, we're
So
3 years
Spieth
removed from him out dueling Spieth on Sunday at
yes,
Augusta.
yes,
I mentioned Spieth's
he
confidence.
was one COVID test away from winning the Masters over John Rahm.
Phil's confidence is through the roof. Guarantee he will show up Masters week thinking he can win the golf tournament,
Absolutely,
no matter what.
absolutely. It's funny because he was longer odds at the PGA when he won at 200 to 1 than he is at most of the majors now. Sitting at like 150 to 1 now. So it would be immature to
The books
rule
aren't
out.
taking the risk again.
No, no. They're not going to be exposed like that anymore.
He'll win more majors right now than Spieth. That's not negotiable. That is fact.
Correct.
He's in
I
three.
mean, it's just two other names, because they'll probably be popular picks. Fleetwood, is he a major champion at some point? Or at some point, it's probably too broad. But 26, is this the year?
I mean,
I
if
think if
it's
it's
even money, I'd say no.
I think if it's not the year, I think he
It's
could
never
be
the
one of
year.
those guys who never gets it done.
Yeah, I kind of
Because
agree with
he
that.
just won huge event for his first win ever. The floodgates theoretically should open.
Yeah. Well, he beat Scheffler. Like you know, he took down guys on Sunday. I'd
But he's
also
also not
say,
really someone that I see in contention at majors all the time.
yeah, well,
Like I
that's part
constantly
of it.
see him finishing T3 when he teed off 2 hours for the leaders.
He
Like
might
I
be
don't.
the generation's Lee Westwood.
That's what I was just thinking. Like it's very possible that's the case.
Yeah, Lee.
Bear.
Majestic, by
Who,
the way.
Bear? I had no on him.
Yeah.
He's a loser.
Me?
No, I think
Oh,
Gobert's a loser.
we're both losers.
Bear. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't have any positive
Who's your
affirmations for
biggest
Ludwig Bear this year.
um who's your biggest who's your comeback player of the year, so to say? Like either was hurt or had a bad year last year, comes back this year with a flurry and contends a lot, wins once, maybe, depending on their standard. I don't know. Like I mean, you can say Xander if you think he's gonna win twice and one of them's a major. Like that's fair too, but
That's a cop out.
I'm gonna say Tom Hoagie gets back in the winner circle.
I like no bogey. That's a good
The
one.
no bogey returns.
I have Thigala.
That's
That
a good one.
I think Thigala got really screwed last year with all his injuries. And I think people put a lot of too much weight into that. He is a really good player when he's healthy.
Max Homa. Do you
No,
find form this year?
no.
No?
he better, or his days are numbered.
Very true.
Try to look. I don't
Who's
know.
your biggest disappointment before we wrap this up?
Well, as the three runners of the Go Get That podcast,
Yeah. Relative to their own
If Spieth
relative
wins
to
biggest
expectations.
disappointment this year, I don't even want to know what that season looks like
the
because it really
expectations aren't
can't
even
go down
high,
much.
so the par is low until he
Or
shows
high for
Sony
someone like
next
him.
week and contends, and then the expectations are through the roof.
I think come the end of the year, and this maybe is um the taking kind of the easy way out just because the expectations are so high. I think Rory's not happy with his 2026.
I was gonna say I also think that there's as much as I'm a fan and I think that he could, I think it would be immature to say he's not going to win a major this year just because he is at his best a top 3-4 player in the world. I think Bryson could have a down year this year.
I got
I
another
could see
one.
Bryson having a poor major season if he lets the last two Masters get in his head because he's been the best player in the field for the last two Masters and hasn't made a putt, and that's one of the best parts of his game. And if he lets that get in his head and starts to try and change his strategy around Augusta, that's not a formula for success. And if he does that and finish and does not do well at the Masters, the rest of the majors could spiral down with it. I could see that happening.
Mine would be the guy that I just said his name like a minute ago. I'll go Ludwig again. I just he's everyone thinks. I mean, they talk about the swing, and it's just like you think he should win more than he won the Genesis back in February last year, but it's like I mean, Bob, as a better, it's like his odds every week are you're not throwing away money.
14 to 16 to
Yeah,
1.
just the win equity is just not what you think it should be for a player of his caliber. What he's got 2 PGA Tour wins in 3 years, which as a Spieth fan, I mean that'd be a-okay. But Ludwig gets talked about as the next coming of Christ by some, so he'd be mine. But I don't know. I don't
It's a
know.
good one.
Yeah. I'm
It's a
gonna have
good
to hop
one.
out. Um,
We'll wrap it up. I like the Rory one though. I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And what do you think a disappointing season is for Scheffler? 1 win?
I don't even think that's plausible. The
no,
only
I think
3 wins and no major.
no major, no players, no FedEx Cup. That's disappointment.
That's the disappointment. Yeah, that's fair.
If
Yeah.
he wins a players and doesn't win a major, it's kind of like holding serve, I think, in my opinion.
Chalk. Yeah. Coming out net even. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm out, but I'm excited. I'm glad we got to
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
chat
I
it
mean,
up
over
here,
under for
and
Scheffler's got to be what, 3.5 wins though?
it's probably the line to start the season.
Yeah. I think 3.5 is a good line because, like, yeah, you could say 4, but like it's just like it's always ambitious. It's very tough to win on the PGA Tour, and Scheffler has kept getting better for the last 3 years when we didn't think that was possible. So you do have to think that a regression is coming at some point. I don't know whether it's this year, but you do have to think that at some point it, there's a good chance that that in the next 3 years that's the best we see Scheffler,
Yeah.
including last year. Like it would be very hard for him to keep improving. Like I mean, the standard is just so high.
We'll be back 2 months from now though, and he'll already be at 3. And then
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, he rips off his win so quick. April, he could win 3 of the 4 events, and you wouldn't be surprised. So
I mean, yeah, he could win Houston and CJ blindfolded
yeah, that's well said. But
and get his 6th major.
yeah. But yeah, that's all we got. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back in a week to get this thing ready and rolling.
Yeah.
Should be exciting. But till then, see you
Thanks,
guys.
guys.